Hey guys, Steve Harris here at Without Code. Today I'm going to show you how to use custom code to modify elements on your site and do things you didn't think were possible. Now I know it's contradictory given that our business is called Without Code that I'm asking you to modify the code, but really what I want you to do is just start experimenting with a very small kind of segment of the code on your site. It's not intimidating at all, and I think once you see how easy it is to do, you'll really feel comfortable digging in there and trying new things. So the code that we're going to modify today is called CSS. And most websites are built of two components. You've got HTML, which is kind of the structural element of the site, the actual content. Then you've got the CSS, and the CSS is essentially the style settings, what you want to do to all those structural elements in terms of color and layout and spacing and all those sorts of things. So on the canvas here, I've got this text block, and I've got a title. It says, "Welcome to Architect Studio." If I click on that, or rather right click on that or control click, we can go edit HTML CSS. And when we do that, it brings up two boxes. By default, you'll see this box. It says HTML. This is kind of the intimidating thing you really don't want to look at, and we don't need to modify anything in there. The main thing we're going to modify today is the CSS. And when we click CSS tab here, it says General CSS for all devices and Device-Specific CSS. We're going to do the device-specific one. So within that box, let me zoom in a little bit here, there are various style settings. So basically what this is showing is, here's the element name on the site, and all of these blocks below are just style controls. So you can see there's a padding top, padding left, padding bottom, that sort of thing. So these are basically just style properties. You've got the property itself, the value you're inputting, and this important word here basically just means we want this setting to override all other settings. It basically takes the cascading element of cascading style sheets or CSS out of the equation. So the change I want to make on this headline is I want to space the letters out. And in print design, that would typically be called tracking or kerning. Well, in CSS, we need to figure out what the property is that's going to control that. So I'm going to use this CSS reference guide on the web. It's called cssreference.io. And it's a really simple way to look at all the different properties you have available within CSS. So I want to look at typography options. And when I do that, it gives us a whole bunch of options. And you can see here on the left, we've got different things like font weight, line height, text alignment. Well, we've got one here called letter spacing. Letter spacing defines the spacing between the characters in a block of text. So it's got a couple examples here, and it shows kind of the different spacing options we have. So I could click this letter spacing and copy it like that. And if I go back into my site editor, I'm just going to hit return to add a new line, and I'm going to paste that in. Now, one thing we want to do is we want to add this important word here. So I'm going to copy that from the one above, and let's just make sure we paste it in so it looks exactly the same as the item above. So now we've added letter spacing of 2 pixels to this element, and let's just hit update. There, so you can see on the block above, our letter spacing actually tracked those letters out a little bit. And now we could just go ahead and tweak the value. So we go 4 pixels to get them even wider. And that's it. So this is a setting that's not exposed in the editor itself, but we can easily control it within the CSS. And you really didn't need to learn how to code to do it. All you had to look up was a CSS reference guide for the correct property that's going to control that item. We also have something here called line height. Line height is basically leading in CSS terms, so the space between lines of text. So we could even copy values from here and change them around to have more kind of fine control over our line height on the site. Let me jump back to the editor, and I'm going to close this box. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a transition to this button. When I hover over it, I find that the hover effect is too sudden. I want a nice, slow, easing transition. Well, we can do that using CSS. However, that setting is not available within the design options within Architect. So if I, again, control click or right click on this button and go edit HTML and CSS, by default now it's opening to the device-specific CSS, which I'm happy about. Let's zoom in, and of course we've got all the style settings for this block. So we've got height and padding top and something like this, height 56 pixels. When you edit the height of this button within the editor using the slider, all it's doing is changing this value within the code. So let's add a transition to this button. If I go back to my CSS reference guide, I don't want to look in the typography section. I'm going to look in the transition section. So here are all the properties for transitions. We can have delays, we can have durations, tons of different things on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this one. It says the shorthand property for transition. I'm going to copy that. And let's go back to the editor. I'm going to add a new line and I'm going to paste that below. And again, I'm going to replace that important value just right there. So now it's saying the transition is 1 second. I'm going to make it slower. Let's go 3 seconds. And then click Update. So now I'm going to close my window so I can see things a little bit better. And now when I mouse over the button, you can see that nice, smooth, gradual transition. So again, just a very simple update to the code is enabling something that you can't do easily within the front-end editor. So as you can see, CSS is an extremely powerful thing for you to get comfortable with. Now, you don't have to memorize all the various CSS properties out there. I don't know them all top of mind. However, I do know that, for example, if a customer wants to add letter spacing or tracking to an element, I could do that using letter spacing. Or, for example, a border. If I wanted to put a border on one side of a column and not the other, I could do that using the border settings within CSS. So I'd really encourage you to explore CSS, try editing things within your editor that aren't available by using the CSS, and just make sure as you're doing this that you occasionally make a site backup. When you're editing code, it's always something that you could risk kind of damaging a part of your site. So just be sure that you create backups frequently so that you can restore if you need to. Thanks again for watching and good luck exploring CSS within the Architect Builder.